Is the White House amenable to sitting down with Stevie Wonder, who has met with presidents throughout history?
Welcome to this week's Wacky Moments of Leftist Extremism. Next year is an election year, and wouldn't you know, the leftist media is convinced everything is peachy under Joe as they follow their propaganda-pushing marching orders when discussing Bidenomics.
Believe it or not, this afternoon is actually a perfect snapshot in time. A still frame emblematic of an absurdly asymmetrical chapter in American political history. Just think about it. On one hand, the President of the United States, so confident in his achievements, travels the country, reminding voters just how much it is he has accomplished.
Americans are pretty aware, I think.
It is just not looking good for President Biden politically out there, that he would probably lose some swing states if the election were held today. So they have a lot of work to do to, once again, like I said, try to get credit for the successes that he's had.
You know, Bidenomics is just so great. Americans don't get it. Clearly, it's the messaging that faces challenges. Perhaps a dutiful media can find some ways to pump it up.
If you're looking for a break from inflation, you may not have to search any farther than the gas pump, where millions of Americans are now paying $3 or less a gallon.
Of course, in December of 2020, before Joe took office, the average gas price was $2.22 a gallon, but that's just not worth mentioning for some reason. Perhaps it's because we're in the insane world of the leftist media. It's a fantastic, magical world where the elusive former CNN activist Brian Stelter, well, he comes out of hiding to pronounce that the hosts of The View are the champions of truth.
Because we should all advocate to have a truthier, healthier environment. That's why I love this show. You guys are louder than the liars.
Ourselves all the time.
Louder than the liars.
Yeah, louder than the liars, huh? Probably because they were doubting all those bad Biden polls coming out all week.
This was stunning to me. There's a CNN poll, and granted, we don't trust all the polls, but from November that said 53% of Americans believe Trump had the stamina and sharpness compared to only 25% for Joe Biden. They're only 3.5 years apart.
And one rides a bike and one eats cheeseburger.
Well,
Oh, you know, he kind of rides a bike. Falling down even further than Joe is Brian Stelter's new book. Stelter was on The View plugging it. Now the book sold 3,807 copies in the first week, which is actually less than the 4,000 varieties of potatoes that are available. Well, maybe there's 4,001 varieties. One is definitely cheesy as hell, though, when it's dug up.
And you're welcome at this table, at this very truthy table, anytime.
In news that really is no small potatoes, Tuesday saw a possible monumental twist in the Hunter Biden saga, as Biden said he would finally be willing to comply with a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee and testify about his life of corruption and allegations of malfeasance involving his father. But ABC and NBC's evening news programs just didn't cover this big story. CBS did cover it, however, and, well, sorta. It was at the tail end of a piece on disgraced Representative George Santos.
Scott, I understand there's also some news tonight on a different matter, the House investigation into Hunter Biden, the president's son, offering to testify publicly. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Nora, the House Oversight Committee, which has been investigating the president's son all year and subpoenaed him last month, has rejected that offer, saying they want him behind closed doors for a deposition first, as others have gone.
Oh, but this is the Bidens. They are treated like common people. Laws and rules are not for them. And if you dare insinuate otherwise, like Representative James Comer of Kentucky, well, then you're just a dumb hick to the leftist media.
And you know, this poor Comer guy,
They're trying to get Hunter.
He wants him because he keeps making a fool of himself because he says, well, we ain't really got nothing.
Right.
But a squirrel fire and a hound dog.
Yeah.
And, or says something like that.
Yeah, okay. Comer's a dumb hick to Morning Joe, but Joe Biden is a mature mind filled with years of experience.
This is the big stage, the world stage, and with everything at stake on two separate fronts, two wars, Ukraine and Israel, literally putting everything on the line for the rest of the world, for global security. Would I want a man who's straight A student in his 40s or 50s out there? Or would I want someone with 40, 50 years experience on the world stage? That includes decades of wins and losses, politically and geopolitically. And I can't think of somebody else I'd want to, you name them. Well, somebody name a better, at this point, more mature mind.
That same mature-minded experience that we saw execute the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Shocking scenes of desperation and chaos in Afghanistan are being seen around the world.
That mature mind that understands how bicycles work. But all these clips that we've seen so far today pale to the unbelievable fluff that the White House gets asked by the leftist reporters. This week, we feature a real doozy from April Ryan.
For the serious question, I had an in-depth conversation with Stevie Wonder last night, who is requesting a meeting with the president. He's very concerned about the black agenda falling along the wayside and issues like laws of 50 years ago that are now being abolished or gutted. Is the White House amenable to sitting down with Stevie Wonder, who has met with presidents throughout history?
The Biden-Stevie Wonder summit. That's much more interesting for the media to ask their friends in the administration about than about the impacts of Bidenomics.
That's what friends are for.
I'm Eric Shiner from MRC-TV, asking you to head over to the MRC homepage, click on that donation button, check out MRCTV.org for the latest in videos, information, and entertainment, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to these videos where you can see us. And as work keeps going in our new studio, we'll see you again real soon with another look at leftist media madness.